You want me to undo it?
Okay, let me turn my sound off.
Yep, turn yourself. We know that's working.
Yeah.
All right, groovy. Still figuring it out. Don't know what we're doing yet. Let me find the chat box. Just wait a couple of minutes for people to come in. But hopefully, why does it say? Oh, you have your mic push to talk?
What?
There's a little line over your microphone. Oh, that's probably the old one. Don't touch it. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we're going to answer your questions. Oh, shit, snacks.
We said we knew about life, not about technology.
That's it. Not about technology. And the fact that we're in the same room, which is kind of unusual for us anyway, on a Wednesday night. It's just going to wait a couple of minutes because it's only 7:31. And if you're watching this from the YouTube channel, it would be super amazing if you told us where you're from. If you have any questions, you can leave them in there, because even if you're not here during the live stream, we could actually answer those questions later on. And we would certainly like to hear if there's anything you would like us to talk about. Generally, I go live 3 times a week, but only once with Laura. So if there's stuff you want me to talk about, or you want to hear us talk about, or you want to hear from her alone or whatever, just let us know and we'll put that into the rotation. Usually when I come out here, it's on a whim, and I just kind of say whatever I want to say on that whim, you know? So anyway, hop into the chat, ask some questions, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. But mostly importantly to me is to know where you're from and how you found us and all that happiness. And hopefully everybody can hear us. Let me just go out there and make sure that now it's...
I can hear you when I go through my phone, but I don't know if they're going to be able to hear me.
Well, we're going to find out, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the live thing on that? I'm going to make sure that it's not private right now. Yep, it's private. Let me fix that. So I said all of that for no good reason. Now it's not private. So hopefully, again, let me just say it again for you in the back, because I had this stupid video set to private yet again. I guess it must be the default or something. I don't know. So anyway, I just was saying, if you're popping in, we just got here and we didn't know what we were doing. We did a couple of dry runs before we went on. So if you saw us come on, go off, that was because we were trying to figure out a microphone situation. I'm not an audio specialist, and I don't play one on television, and neither is she. So here we are. Anyway, so if you want to ask any questions, you can put them in the chat. But if you're watching this as a replay on YouTube or even on Facebook, if you have any questions, you can put them in there. And any ideas for topics would be great too. I go live 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't have really a set time except for Wednesday, because she makes me have one. The rest of the time it's just whenever the fuck I feel like coming out here and saying whatever it is that's on my mind. Anyway, yeah, just put where you're from in the chat box, like and subscribe on the YouTubes. Go out there to the YouTube channel, and there's a link if you want to buy us a coffee to keep us awake when we do this, because we're old and we need it.
I'm going to do the entire podcast like this.
Because otherwise, Holly will be adding to the conversation.
Yeah.
Like a little banner that I put at the bottom. Wednesday, everything's good. Do your own research. We are not professional bullshitters.
Yes, that's very good. Mm-hmm. So this is Holly. Holly's going to dispense her wisdom tonight.
More than we have.
Yeah.
Let us know if you can hear her, because we're trying to do this through my microphone on my laptop.
Yeah. We're having microphone technical issues.
Have them try to pop in. It would be helpful if somebody would pop in. Sorry for the quietness. I'll take this and copy it. And I'm going to put this in the chat box to see if anybody pops in. You should be able to see. Who the heck is Thomas Dunkelman? That's weird. Okay. Okay. Let me see if Stephen will pop in for me. I know it's boring. I'm sorry.
See if we had an editor, we could cut this all out. But I guess that doesn't help when we're live.
No, it doesn't help when we're live. Why are you? I don't get it. I don't understand why people are. Let me put it out here. Oh, I don't know if that's right either. Oh my gosh.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know if I'm just trying to get somebody to pop in so that we know if people can hear us. And I wanted to make sure that you're on this one that I'm looking at.
What do you mean?
Well, I only see my face on the screen. Can you tell?
I can see both of us.
Oh, good. That's good.
And I can see us both on Facebook and on YouTube.
Okay. All right. I think I almost got all the technical difficulties done.
Except for speaking.
Except for speaking. I swear, I think that
I need anti-glare glasses.
That's what mine are. Okay.
Because all I see is the light in my glasses.
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I like about these. They aren't like that.
Yeah.
I got them like that on purpose because so many times while I was going live before and doing my makeup and shit, and I'm looking at my glasses, it's this big shiny light, and it's also got the blue block on there so that it helps with your vision.
Well, that's because I paid like $5 for
I
these.
see five. Okay, so these are questions from our viewers. So, and I didn't put these in any particular order. I just, as I got them, I wrote them into the chat and sent them to her, and then I stuck them into my. So, how do we do this?
You're going to read a question, and then I'll answer first, and then you can give your opinion on that, and then I'll read the next question, and we'll do it.
So okay, so I don't have this number.
That's fine. I don't need numbers.
When people say look for the good in others, what if there isn't any good? That's your question.
Okay, so here is the answer to that question. If you look for the good in others and you don't see any good in the person that you're trying to find good in, here's the answer. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
I just read that somewhere. Literally just read that quote, like in the last day or two.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get that from the internet at all. Sure.
Okay.
Yes, I did get that from the internet, but that's still true. If you cannot change the people around you. Don't see good in them. Change the people around you.
Yeah, that's it. See, that's why the English language sucks so bad. I'm getting Casey's question.
Well, do you have anything to add to that one?
No, I kind of agree with that. And you don't even have to make a big deal out of it when you decide that you're going to change the people around you. You just can start to back away slowly from the room without anybody really noticing that you're not coming around. And in reality, that's what I did with Peyton Coffin. I just stopped going.
There might be a drop of good in that person that you're not seeing all the time. But that means you have to decide, is it worth it to stick around to see that drop of good? Or, you know, if you're seeing mostly bad, why are you surrounding
Yeah, what's the
yourself with
point of
that?
that whole exercise? You deserve better than that
Yeah.
anyway.
And even good people can act badly, and you don't have to put up with that
Yeah.
either.
And I mean, unless you're invested in it and they might want to try.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you might talk to the person or people and say,
I don't talk to
I
anybody.
know you don't, but you might say, you know, this is bothering me, or this is the boundary that you're crossing, or whatever. And if it continues to happen, then move the fuck on.
Mm.
You know what? You're absolutely right. If I had my boobs fixed, I think I was like this big. Without the bra and the way this is cut off, I have no titties. And I look way smaller when I'm sitting here than when I back up and you see them girls come out. But they can read the words better when I do this. It's like one of the credits we'll put on a movie.
So Sathia Michelle. So the next question is, I'm feeling really antsy lately. It's that feeling of things shifting below the surface. I'm curious to know what we're moving towards.
Well, I can tell you that when I got this question, because it came directly to me, we were just about to have the full moon. And it was the full moon was in Pisces. And the next thing that was happening was every single planet, except for I think one, was retrograde. So it didn't surprise me that she felt that. So yeah, something was about to shift. And I think that there's also a collective still butt clenching going on in the world with everything that's happening, is particularly with our political climate in the United States, because no matter what you want to think, everything does rotate around us, unfortunately. We control the money and the power and the shit. And so when that stuff has been going on for as long as it's been going on, we're on year 6 now. Just because Joe Biden is president doesn't mean things are better. So, I mean, they're better, but they're not better. You know what I mean? If you don't know what I mean, I'm sorry, but it's true. Things are better, they're not better. So I think everybody's still, it's like, when you know that ride at Universal Studios where you they pull you all the way up. I think it's called Doctor Doom. And you're at the top of the thing, and you're just sitting there suspended, and you know eventually you can't. I mean, you're obviously not going to open the fucking ride up to you, but you get off while you're in the air, so you know you're about to drop.
Mm.
That's what we are right now.
Well, that's very pessimistic.
But it's true.
I don't think so. I think
I don't
things
know that
are
it's all pessimistic either. I just think that everybody's just waiting for that exhale that we haven't had yet.
Okay. I'll buy that. So I watched a TikTok because that's all I do.
That's all I do.
From a lady that said that she had heard. So take this with a grain of salt, because who knows what her source was and if it's correct. But she said something about, well, I'll try to keep this without us getting on some type of list. So we'll just say our friends in the Far East, known for their potato alcohol, are very unhappy with their current leader, and those that are actually in charge are getting ready to take him to task. So we'll see if any of that crypticness comes to pass. But as far as the question goes, what comes next? Um, I really think that this is kind of, I think the question was geared more towards like immediate future, but I kind of feel the same way, that there's things shifting beneath the surface, but I don't think we're gonna see them come to light for a while yet. I think that the old power structure has to crumble first.
I mean, that whenever anybody gets the tower card in a reading, people always tell them, well, everything has to come crashing down before you can rebuild upon it. So that makes perfect sense.
And if you're wondering why I keep looking this way, it's because she's sitting right next to me on my right.
And I happen to be the lucky one.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody is looking for recommendations for a psychic medium.
Okay.
They want to know how they should find one of those people. How do you test that to make sure you're going to get all the bang for your buck that you deserve in that reading?
Okay. So, all right. I know we've already stated that these are our opinions. So I'll try to refrain from saying that over and over again, but I do want to say it for this one in particular. This is just my opinion. I have known many, many, many readers in the last 35 years. Met many. And of all of them, I think there was one that I truly felt really connected with the dead. The others, I don't know that they were really doing that or if they were connecting with different guides that were telling them things or nothing at all and just, pulling it from subconscious or whatever. So, that does not really bode well for finding a real bona fide talk to the dead kind of person. That said, even if you do find somebody that can really do that, I would caution you to really think about what you're doing because in a lot of traditions, the dead have moved on. The soul that was here that you knew has either moved to a different place or possibly recycled. They have other things to do. And again, in my opinion alone, I don't believe in disturbing them. They're not part of this anymore. And to kind of bring them back in, so to speak, by having somebody talk to them, I don't know. I know there's other people that think it's fine, and if you think it's fine, that's great. But I'm not one of them. I think that those that have passed should be left in peace. So, did you do something?
I was just going to make sure that there were no people out there chatting that I didn't see.
Okay.
It's supposed to come out on here. I tried to get Stephen to come and do that.
So that's just my opinion, but I wish you luck in finding what you're seeking.
I was going to say something about that. So the first time that I had an experience with the medium was Reverend Joanne at that little church in Newport Richey. And I have to tell you that my mother and I went there together the first time. And we never had been there ever. We didn't know her. We didn't know shit about her. And at the end of every service, she gave readings. And the church was packed out. And she was giving the mediumship readings to people and telling people what people were saying to her. And then she said, wait a minute, as she was in the middle of a reading with somebody else. And she said, I have some woman, she is coming through super loud. And I've got to stop with this one. And
super loud.
Yeah. I've got to push through with this other person. She said, the woman's name is Sophie. And she wants to talk to her daughter. That was my grandmother's name. And we were shocked, I really believe she could do that.
Well, I'm not saying that, there isn't. I'm only saying that in my personal experience,
Yeah.
I've only met one.
Yeah.
That was kind of similar to that, where I really felt that person knew things that I had no explanation for how they would have known on a cold meeting.
Yeah.
Like there was no appointment. It's not like she knew I was coming and had time to research me or something. It was a chance
Well, and
meeting.
back then too, think about that time because my mother died in 2009.
Yeah.
So this was like probably 8 years before that.
Right.
There was no internet to go look that
Right.
shit up.
So I don't want anybody thinking that I think, oh, it's all hooey and that doesn't exist, because who knows what possibilities are out there. Things that we don't understand or think of as magic now. Well, they thought things like gravity was magic at one time until science explained it. So who knows what will be explained in the future, that we don't really have a scientific explanation for now, or maybe we never will, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I watched that one kid on I don't know what channel he's on, but he's recently been reading a lot of the Housewives,
Mm-hmm.
and he's young.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And to me, it's like, okay, so now you're going to read these guys, and one of the housewives is married to the brother of the lead singer from the Quiet Riot.
Mm-hmm.
He died 10, 15 years.
I wish I could remember his name right now. Is it John? Maybe.
I don't know, but I would believe a lot more if he wasn't so fucking famous. He's got to know who he's going to see before he's going to see that.
Well, he also has a unique way of connecting because he connects through kinetic drawing.
Yeah.
So he's interesting. Yes.
You think he's the real deal?
I think he is special. I don't know what he's doing.
Special like your dog or something?
Yes. Stop. My boy. He's a special boy.
I mean, because here's how he read for Terry, his brother Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this person died suddenly, and he wasn't very old, but he wasn't super young, which was true. Kevin was a couple of years older than me. And then he said, and I feel like he had a really distinct voice, and like his hair was really important to him. Well, he had hair transplants and shit. People make fun of him. It's all over the internet. You can read all about how that was the thing. He wanted to be a pretty boy rocker. So all of that shit's out there,
Yeah, and that's why I say there really isn't a good way there really isn't a way, much less a good way, to know for 100% certain that the person that you're talking to is actually communicating with the dead.
True.
They could, I'm not saying that they're being fraudulent. I'm just saying that who knows where those messages are coming from for certain. There's no way for you to know, because if you're seeking out a medium, obviously you're not talking to the dead yourself to verify. So there's no way to verify.
You can't even tell if that's what's happening.
Yeah, there is no way to verify, and like there's not like medium credential school. There probably is, but I wouldn't believe it if there was. So yeah, you just kind of gotta take it for what it is and understand that, this may or may not be my actual passed on loved one that's speaking through this person, and take the message for what it is. And if it's a message that is important to you and uplifting and heals you in some way, or then that's good enough without proof.
Right. Okay, I guess it's your turn.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's see. Oh, Lord.
I know. It came through, though. What am I supposed to say?
If train A leaves the station at 3 p.m. and it's 500 miles to the next depot, does anyone really care how long it will take to get there?
That's, these are my friends that I went to high school with. I can't help you.
Well, it's a question. So
I know. So that's a
answer.
math question, and I don't answer math questions.
I'll ask math question because it's not really a
Okay.
math question. It's well, does anyone care? The people that are on the freaking train,
They care.
they care. They care how long it's going to take. So there's the answer to your question. Thank you very much. I think I should ask another question. What kind of questions are you looking for?
That was the question?
That was the question.
I think that was Chris Gross that asked that question.
Okay,
See what I did there?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. We are looking for questions that you would ask your witchy aunts.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend is addicted to DIY. Every weekend she's at the depot and she talks nonstop about all the projects she has lined up. How can I get her to talk about something else? You can't just fucking give up.
No, that's not the answer. I have the answer.
Okay.
I have the answer. You know what the answer
What's the
is?
answer?
Teach her how to boil and bake it.
Teacher. Oh no.
No.
Bitches.
Get her interested in some other thing. Some other hobby or okay, so listen. More than likely, if it's a hyper focus, she has ADD. And all you need to do is switch the hyper focus to something else.
And then she'll stop. Not.
For instance, you could switch it to looking at real estate videos.
Oh God.
For places to live and compare them to all the places in the country that you could possibly live. Because I guarantee you that will take the place of the home improvement obsession for at least like a month.
This is water. It really needs to be something stronger, but I don't drink on Wednesday, so there's that. Okay. I got nothing. I don't know how to make them stop. They don't stop. It's sort of like a dog with a bone. They're just this is my answer. Her answers might be different than mine. You just don't know for sure. But I'm going to tell you that I think once they got that thing in their mouth, they don't ever want to stop. And the other thing is just another bone that they put in their mouth that they aren't going to let go of. And then they're boiling bacon the next thing you know.
Oh, well, this is. Oh, okay. This is a long question. Dear Tanti and Thea, I had a big party last weekend, and after everyone left, I was cleaning the bathroom and noticed a smudge on the mirror that no matter how much Windex I use won't go away. It's in the shape of a pentagram. My kids won't go in that bathroom anymore because they say they don't like the man behind them in the mirror. Any tips on how to remove supernatural mirror entities? I'm getting tired of sharing the bathroom with the whole family. That's the least of your concern.
Well, probably it's because you use store brand Windex.
Does it have the Windex seal of approval?
Yeah, it has to be actual Windex. Fake Windex. And you should be glad that it's just as much on the glass and that someone's shitting on your floor in your bathroom because that could have happened too. That's a true story for another day. Look, I personally
can't wait to hear the answer to this.
Think that it don't matter what you use on the window or the glass to clean it.
Burn the house down.
You could do that. But that's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, which also is a dumb thing. Whatever. I think that you can tell things to get out of your house.
Time to move.
You tell them it's your house. You just have to take it back. Just get your handbook for the recently deceased out and figure out how the fuck to get these people up out your house.
She's obviously never seen the movie Poltergeist.
Yes, I am. No one has TVs like that anymore. It's like, here, use this rotary phone to call a friend. I don't think so. You can clean anybody out. You can tell anybody, living or dead, to get the fuck up out of your house. Including his dog. It's her house, so I can't tell her to do so.
So I will just add to that, but yes, I actually, all sarcasm aside, I agree. You can tell whatever it is to leave. Just don't use sage to do that.
No, and you can ask it if it needs something that you can actually provide it. Who knows? Maybe it is a dead person wanting to fucking seek you out to answer a question, tell somebody something, whatever. But just know that if you have to tell somebody something, you better tell them. And the person that you're telling something to might not think you're all there when you do it. I've had people come to me and tell me to tell people shit, and I don't know. I wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. If you can get them out without asking them, just tell them to go.
Yeah. Just to clarify about the sage thing, a lot of people kind of have this misconception that sage is used to clear or clean an area, and that's not really what it's for. It's used sort of like asking deity, signaling to deity, this space is sacred and ready for you to come to.
It's like an invitation.
Yes. So you're kind of doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing when you're using sage to try to get rid of something. What would work better, and again, do your own research. Do your own research and take your own chances when doing any, changes to life or witchcraft.
And then clean up your own mess. You know what they said?
Yep, clean up your own mess. And we're leaving. No.
Yeah. Things naked under the full moon. See ya.
Yeah. Cayenne pepper and black pepper are both very good. Iron is also very good.
Yep.
So like iron filings or just iron nails. Brick dust, actual brick dust, not powdered clay that had to have been made into a brick at one time and then made into dust. All of those things can be used in various ways to get rid of unwanted guests.
Yep.
Yeah. There's other things too. Florida water works very well, and so does depending on exactly what you're dealing with, graveyard dirt can work as well.
Yep. And you better explain to them what Florida water is, because you probably don't know.
Florida water it's not water from Florida. It's a mix. It's an herbal mix that is like a cologne, or like perfume, and you can get it in most physical shops. What actually is in it kind of varies. You can find different recipes depending on who makes it, but it's used mostly in hoodoo and voodoo and some more Afro-Cuban centric religions and practices.
Salt.
Yeah, salt is another one. Works pretty good. And again, it depends on what you're really dealing with. So that's your first thing you should figure out.
Fine.
Okay.
Clean.
Okay.
Dear Tati and Tia, I met my boyfriend a year ago, and he had just lost his job due to his company downsizing. He hadn't been able to find another job yet, and he was worried because his lease was not being renewed. He told me his landlord wanted to give the apartment to his own family. He told me his landlord. Oh, okay, his own family. So after only a few weeks, I let it move in. In the last year, he has gone on interviews nearly every week, sometimes even going out of town overnight, trying to find a job. I pay all our bills, and recently the both and support both of us. Recently, he's been talking about getting married. I don't know how to ask him to pitch in for the wedding because it would take me too long to save for it myself. Any suggestions? Girl, you're in danger. No, no.
We need a crop that's just
I
a
want it.
red flag.
Susie Suarez had a slipper because that's what my grandmother used to throw at us. No.
Yeah. Instead of here's how you say that tactfully. You ready for this?
Girl,
Yeah.
you're in danger.
Yeah. Here's how you ask him tactfully. Get a fucking job.
Yeah. And we can hold it for more than 6 months. We can talk about getting married after that.
Yeah.
And why is he going on trips overnight? Who the fuck is paying for that? You put a tracking device on your phone. That's what I would do. Put a tracking device.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't say more about that, but yeah.
I'll say it. Put a tracking device on his phone or her phone or whatever. No, bitch. That's some craziness right there. You probably shouldn't have even moved him in so soon. Sorry. This bugs me.
Yeah. So here's the deal. It's a breeding ground for resentment if one person is taking all of the responsibility from any one area, whether it's all the financial responsibility, all the housekeeping responsibility, all the yard work responsibility. If one person takes all of that on without any sort of balancing factor, it's going to create resentment, and resentment is not a good place to be in any relationship. No. So, yeah, don't get married.
I mean,
just don't get married, period. End of that.
The fact that you asked that question, you know inside your head you probably think that shouldn't be, because otherwise you wouldn't even be asking the question, right? You'd be just like happily looking for some wedding dresses and trying to figure out how to sell plasma so you could pay for the wedding. But because she decided to ask us,
yeah, it's sort of like when people want to get a tarot reading to find out if they should get married. If you're going to a tarot reader to find out if you should get married, the answer is no.
No.
It doesn't matter what the cards say. The answer is no.
Most of the cards are going to say no anyway. But I'm just saying, women, no offense to the dudes out there.
Here we go.
But the women, we know shit. You know, we bleed and we know things. So it's not, you're not stupid. Just, I'm always saying, here's what you do. If somebody came to you with this story and they were telling it to you, what would you say to this person, particularly if you really cared about them? Would you tell them, carry on? Or would you say, I think this is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think you should do this. It's really that simple. And then there's another thing I want to tell you about this shit too. Only young people feel this way. Young. I don't believe anymore. So it's not even a thing. Your fucking nose is throwing out who can make the best baby. That's it. That's the whole reason why you like somebody. No other reason. Even if you don't want babies, your fucking nose is telling you, this is the person that I can make the best baby with. You are really bad dick pickers or pussy pickers until you stop bleeding or care about whether you can become a child because your back is fucked up.
Yeah. And speaking of babies, I would like to add that you didn't mention any, so I'm just assuming there isn't any.
Please don't have any.
So it would be a little different if you had children and he was going to watch the kids, or if there was some other reason, like, there's nothing wrong with a spouse that stays home. If that the other person is contributing to the relationship in some way, and that how they contribute to the relationship, that is defined within the relationship and is different for every single one. But the fact that you ask that question in that way and don't know how to ask a very simple, straightforward question to somebody that you're considering marrying
And you're living with,
says that there's deeper issues within this relationship.
and you're paying all their bills.
So figure out how to talk to them first, and then figure out if your resentment is worth tying yourself to this person for the rest of your life, but until the divorce happens.
And the divorce will happen.
Good luck.
Fly away, Uber. And that's all the questions we have. It's kind of sucky because I think there's some baseball going on out there.
We find a nice Greek.
Oh, no, we will not. No offense to the Greek boys out there. I'm related to a lot of them. No, I don't know. Almost every single one of them in St. Louis, anyway. Not here, but there for sure.
So we hope we answered your questions.
If you have any more, send them to us. We might do this again.
Yep.
This will probably come up in the rotation. I don't know. We can't hardly think past how to make the microphones work. So
yeah,
we're still trying to figure all this shit out.
It's really bad.
It is. We'll get it. I don't even know how to make. There's all kinds of cool shit that I can do with the software. There's a countdown. I haven't figured that shit out. Every day I put in my I'm gonna put it in the software, and I don't.
Come here,
I will.
Come here.
Eventually. You can follow me on TikTok too, and Laura's got a TikTok. Yeah. And you can come out to the YouTube channel. That's awesome. And I'm on Twitter too, which is for weed.
Let us know if you want to see more of Holly.
Yep. And also, I live life whimsically out on YouTube, and live life whimsically out on Instagram and TikTok. And then also, like I said, if you want to buy coffee,
buy Holly coffee.
All right. See you next Wednesday. Peace out.